I can't even touch anything on the desk.
Here, you got your squishy taco. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
What is happening, everybody? It's Wednesday.
Yay!
What's Wednesday? Can you fill us in, Victoria? And go.
I didn't have enough coffee to respond in kind.
All right, it's your turn.
Wednesday is the Boss Up and List show, and we coincide it with the all-day Boss Up and List, all-day virtual listing party that is in the Boss Facebook group. The link to the Facebook group is down below. If you are not a part of our Facebook group, we would love you to be a part of it. We have a lot of fun in there. It's a lot of positive reinforcement for sellers of all shapes, sizes, levels, whatever. We like everybody. Doesn't matter if you're a brand new seller, you're thinking about selling, you've been selling for 20 years, whatever. We want you in there. So that's it.
Yeah, we haven't done any listing because we just got back from our trip.
I have not listed since last Tuesday, not a thing.
Susie wants so many jet lag. You know, it's almost impossible to tell because we were already exhausted before we even headed back home. So we're just tired. But yeah, she hasn't listed since last week.
I haven't listed a thing since last Tuesday, not even a sell similar, nothing. You know, here's the thing. So we got in last night around 11 o'clock Vegas time, which is 2 a.m. Rhode Island time. And we were only gone for about 5 days. So it's just kind of, we never really got adjusted. Like we were up around 6 a.m. all the time in Rhode Island, which is like the middle of the night here. So it just we never really got into it. So
I listed 3 of the days that we were there, but just like 2 listings one day, 2 listings another day, and then yesterday I did 4 listings. So nothing crazy.
Up at 6 a.m. here today. So yeah, I don't know what the hell time it is, honestly. Neither does my body, but whatever. We'll catch up at some point. I think we're gonna crash hard tonight.
HDK Family Flippers, she did not survive her shipping yet.
I've only gotten 5 things shipped out. Okay, so yeah, so it's 11 o'clock. I had a doctor's appointment this morning. We had to run and get water. The house was like bone dry, and you can't drink tap water in Vegas. It's nasty. So got to the doctor's appointment. I've pulled about 10 of my 50 items. I got 5 of them shipped. I'm doing them in batches. It's just too hard when there's all 50. Generally, I have like 20 to 25 items on a Monday, and that's a good weekend. And then this is 6 days of sales. It's 50. I had 5 on Etsy.
I already got all my stuff shipped. I don't know what your problem is.
I had 5 on Etsy and 45 on eBay to ship.
I don't know what your problem is.
Yeah, you ship clothing. You ship clothing.
I got all mine shipped. I don't know what your problem is.
I got a lot of stuff.
Guys, I had 24 items to ship out. 2 or 50. All of my clothing. I haven't printed out the labels yet, but everything's all packaged up and ready to go. I just need to print out the labels and slap them on there, and then I'll be done.
Thank you, Dorothy. You're a sweetheart. I don't need any help. I'll get it done. It's just going to take time.
She'll get done. She'll just bitch about it a lot. That's all.
I just get to complain all day. That's all there is to it. What else is new?
Yeah, what's new? Anyway, yeah, Dorothy's always awesome and always ready to help. So
I know. So thank you for the offer, Dorothy. But yeah, I'll get it done. By the time like we pull all the stuff and you don't know where anything is, it's just I love you. I appreciate the offer, but I'll get it done. I'm just going to go slow. That's all. I'll have to drive to the post office later to drop off. It's never going to be ready for the time that the mail lady picks up.
Anyway, so we had, the dogs didn't do jack.
These dogs are useless. Useless, Enrique. I'm telling you, they're useless.
Hey, it's Marcy. Hey, Marcy. So we met Marcy at the Meetup the other night, Monday night in Massachusetts.
We're in Massachusetts.
I gotta say, Marcy, I want to say I was a little bummed that you guys like snuck out because all of a sudden I turned around, you were gone, and I even said to Vicky, I felt bad that I didn't get to say goodbye.
We didn't get to say goodbye. Marcy and her husband, boyfriend, I'm not sure which, came. And they drove a couple of hours, which is probably why they took off, because honestly, the meetup didn't end until after 10 o'clock. And we were kind of in the middle of nowhere. We had an hour and a half drive home, which was almost 2 hours.
The rain was horrendous. I don't remember which direction you guys were driving in, but
we were
hating it.
It was like you could see 2 feet in front of you driving on the freeway like white knuckle. It was not a fun drive home. But it was fantastic. We had a lot of fun.
So I felt bad that we didn't get to say goodbye to you, Marcy, since you guys did come all the way out to come see us. But you look like you're having fun, and you just said that apparently we're more fabulous in real life. So
is that even possible?
Yeah. So I don't know. So we didn't ruin the illusion apparently at the meetup.
We had a lot of fun. It was, you know, it's always nice to meet, as we say all the time, it's always nice to meet stranger friends in person. We had, I don't know, like probably like 18 people or so at the meetup. And I know there were a number of people that had wanted to come that couldn't come because of either illness or the weather. The weather was pretty,
oh man, the drive home
bad.
Was rough. Yeah, Marcy, that's exactly
and I feel bad. It was a rough ride home. So sorry about that, Marcy. I appreciate
she made me drive and I was all,
yeah. I couldn't see. It was awful.
Yeah, it took about halfway home before we finally, it did clear up, but it wasn't like, you know, when it like rains so hard. It's like when those big semis go by you on the freeway when it's like pouring down rain and it's like you just get this misty cloud of rain and it's really hard to see. That was pretty much like the whole first half of our drive was like
we did get a live super chat, which was super funny. Someone threw $5 at Katie and said, one of our watchers that's usually in the chat.
Well, are you seriously whispering?
I had a mind blank.
I don't remember. We met a whole bunch of people. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head. And
she drove a long distance, and she had her real name on her badge, but she usually.
I feel like it was like Carrie or I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm horrible. And now
Kelly. It was Kelly.
And now she's gonna watch. And
sorry,
she's
Kelly.
Like, oh great, I came all the way down there just to see them, and they don't even bother to remember my name.
I'm an asshole.
Yeah, you are an asshole.
Kelly. It's Kelly.
You are an asshole. Anyway, guys, so we had a great time. And we actually got a gift from
Carolyn. She is a Rhode Islander, and I had met her at eBay Open, and she'll be at Open again this year. And
Marcia said she would have driven to the Blizzard to meet us.
Oh, she's sweet.
It's really sweet.
I don't know that I would drive in a Blizzard to meet anybody.
Well, you're a bad driver, so
it's true. But I can drive better in a Blizzard than in the rain. I'm a Rhode Island girl. I know how to drive in the snow.
All right.
Yeah, so Carol came. She's a Rhode Island girl, and so we had met at eBay Open last year. She's been every year, but we didn't meet until last year. And so she was at Target or something right before she came to see us, and she saw. I don't know that there are any more options available for Skittles, but I'm thinking we have been sent every option available at this point. America.
It's they need to here. It's the America mix.
America.
I'm gonna go ahead and
cross out the A and make it a U.
Yeah, I'm gonna cross out the A and then
Kelly Taylor. Thank you. I knew it was Kelly. Thank you, Diane.
Doesn't have to
remember her last name. I knew it was Kelly with an I. I was trying to visualize her name tag.
So I just changed it. It's the America mix, guys. I'm pretty excited. We're gonna bust it open right now. It's got.
I'm on a diet. I can't even taste them.
You can taste one. Okay, let's look at you. We're your calorie counting. Okay. A whole fourth of a cup is 160 calories, but you're just gonna have one. So I'm gonna say one of them is gonna be like.
All right, fine. I'll have one.
Like 5 calories. I think you can do it. So we got blackberry is the blue one, or the dark blue one. Raspberry is the red. Wild berry is the lighter blue. Strawberry is like the lighter, like pinky red.
Well, we know what strawberry tastes like. I want the.
Listen, guys. Let me get to it. Quit trying to ruin my story. Anyway, and then there's a white one, guys, and this is I'm pretty sure this is a real fruit, a real berry. It's called Yumberry.
It's a real Yumberry.
Yeah, here you try it.
All right, I'll try Yumberry. That's mine. 5 calorie.
Yeah, there's your 5. We'll say it's 5 calories. That one. Yeah, and the Pride Skittles. That's awesome. How is it?
It's yummy.
Yum.
It was interesting.
What's a Yumberry taste like?
I don't know. Fruity.
Fruity?
Berry-ish.
You're fruity.
It's true.
Yum. Hey, Lorna. Yeah, it is. Allison, it is a cocaine Skittle. In fact, I
should get my shipping done extra fast then.
So what you're saying is I should probably snort that one later. Snort one of the white ones. Anyway, so that was from Carolyn, you said?
Carolyn, yep.
Carolyn. Very yummy. Thank you for thinking of us. Anyway. Then we also got a couple
more gifts. We got gifts. We got a gift in the mail when we came home yesterday. We got a gift before we left.
The day that we left, we got.
People love us.
They do. But the day they left, now it's in the wash right now, so I can't show it to you guys. But the day we left, I hadn't gotten the mail in like it was like 5 days or something like that. She goes to get the mail before we left, and she literally comes in with like this armful of mail and packages and everything. I'm terrible.
Because our mail lady drops the returns at the door.
Yeah.
So
and packages a lot of times, but some small.
And who doesn't pay their bills online, right? So when you get it in the mail, it's kind of like,
almost all junk. That's the thing. It's almost all junk. So unless I know that something specific is coming, and also you get those what's the thing where they send you the email with pictures of all your letters. So it's like you know what's coming.
The digest, the daily
digest.
Whatever.
Anyway, we got a card and I got a T-shirt from Rick Dorn. I need to send him a message and let him know that we got that. But it's a really awesome T-shirt. He thought of me when he was out shopping, got this T-shirt for me and sent it to me. I'll have to wear it like one of our shows.
He's a really active newer member in the Boss Facebook group. So
super active.
That was really nice.
Contributes a lot of really, really good content.
He's been a long time seller and he's been doing it for quite a while and he's starting to get more into it, like more dedicated to it. So he's real active and picking up in a lot of different tips and trying new things. And so we always appreciate when we have active members in the group.
And then today, when we got home last night,
we got this really, really cute card from Lori D'Agostino, another one of the Bossy Posse ladies.
Bossy Posse ladies.
Which
I think it's a really cool card.
Hello. What happened? What else happened last week?
We were
inducted.
Oh, I guess it's not a secret if the people know who we are when we're at eBay Open. You guys, we were inducted into a secret society. Yeah.
We were accepted and inducted into the Bossy Posse.
Yeah, so we're part of the Bossy Posse, which even though it sounds like it's actually not affiliated with the Boss Facebook group, although I think most of them are in the Boss Facebook group. They just happen to have a similar name. I like to think that it's like a sister group. But it's a Bossy Posse.
It's like a sister subsect.
Yeah. But anyway, so she sent us a card.
She sent us a great card and a little gift card and like
we'll to use that for date night.
Yeah, and she's like, go have a couple of drinks on me, and it was really, really sweet.
Yeah. What's happening, everybody? Lorna says her day's going really good.
Yay, Lorna!
I think we're gonna be talking to Lorna on the phone after the show. I'm pretty excited about it. One of my favorite people in the whole wide world. And then in the mail, I also got my Buffalo. This is the first time I did the Buffalo Exchange by mail. You can request. Let's say you don't have a Buffalo Exchange in your area. You can request to send stuff by mail, and they will send you basically a gigantic poly bag, like huge. And you stuff that as full as you can, and then it comes with a label. It's UPS. It comes with a UPS label.
It's
prepaid, so you don't have to pay anything, and you ship it off to them, and then they will go through it and they'll decide if they want any of it. Now you have two options. You can pay $15 and they will ship back anything that they don't want, or you can pay nothing and they will donate whatever they pass on. But then they send you an email and they let you know how much you can get in cash and how much you can get in trade. And if you choose trade or cash, they send it to you in the mail. And so basically what I did is I go to Buffalo every week, and the stuff that they reject just kind of piles up here. And then there were a few other things, and I just took everything that they had passed on locally. And when I had enough of it, I filled this bag full, because it was stuff like, it wasn't anything, for the most part, it wasn't stuff that I wanted to sell myself. And I ended up getting $32.75 in credit, which isn't like a crazy amount.
But it's stuff that you were going to donate.
It was stuff I would have ended up donating anyway. I definitely make more money by trading into Buffalo Exchange. Like it's worthwhile for me to do it, but there's stuff that they don't take. And so this is just a way to kind of, I guess, squeeze out that last bit of money out of it. So
you're definitely using it. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. Diane, we're barely unpacked. So she says she thought I might be wearing my new stuff from Riley today.
I don't know about you, but I am completely unpacked. I even did laundry before we left my friend's house so that we only have like a half a load of laundry.
Well, Lottie's freaking dumb, man. Like, you're really cool.
I'm just
like, aren't you effing special?
And your gift from Riley, the granddaughter, is over here because I unpacked it for you.
Yeah, wait, that's not unpacking it. Just throwing the bag in my office is not. Anyway,
see, Lorna did that before I even said it. I can't see Vicky not unpacked. You know me, Lorna.
Yeah.
Completely unpacked. Everything's put away. Yeah.
My bag is unpacked and put away as well. Okay. Okay, guys. Anyway, don't you eyeball me. So this is basically our Ask Me Anything show, business show. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask us. the first thing I wanted to talk about, and I'm gonna have to go in after we're done with the show and maybe put like a timestamp in the description so people can go and find this later. But we had somebody post something in the boss group talking about pirate ship and cubic shipping, particularly about sending stuff in bags as opposed to a box. Because let me tell you, it absolutely can be confusing. I will be completely honest. Sometimes it does not make sense to me. Sometimes a box, if you enter it as a box with 3 dimensions, sometimes it will be cheaper to put it inside a bag and send it that way. And it's like my brain, I've yet to be able to wrap my head completely around that concept. But it's true. It's true. And so basically, some people had some questions, and so we just wanted to like kind of cover that really briefly there. So basically, cubic priority. Your cubic priority, if you don't know what that is, there's different ways to send priority. There's regular priority, which is just weight based, right? It's just like you're sending it to X zip code.
Yep.
It weighs X number of pounds,
and this is your measurement.
And well, that's it. I mean, it has
weight
to be
and measurement.
Well, it's
priority is based on weight and measurement.
Yes, within a certain within it, but you don't have to. It doesn't matter as long as it's not oversized.
Well, anything over 12 by 12 by 12 is oversized. You don't ship anything big, so trust me. You need to have the measurement in there. I'm just telling you. If you're shipping 4 states over and you're 12 by 12 by 16,
yes, there are
oversized.
limits to how big that can be. But under a certain size, I'm trying to make this as simplistic as possible.
I'm just telling you, just stop talking for a second. Let me finish my sentence. When you ship priority, you need to put, it's based on zip code and measurement and weight.
You should have your measurement in.
Yes, it's not, that's it.
I understand that.
Okay,
yes.
So stop overcorrecting me.
The bottom line, simple as possible, regular priority is basically, as long as it's not considered oversized, guys, is weight and distance. Then you have your flat rate. So for instance, you got your padded flat rate, you got your box, your medium flat rate. Flat rates, it's just basically whatever you can fit into this padded flat rate, whatever you can fit into a medium flat rate box is going to be the same size or same price, no matter where it goes in the country, as long as it's not over, what, 70 pounds? So there's a weight limit technically, but really you're never going to put 70 pounds in this bag.
Unless you're shipping bricks.
Well, guys, back when I used to do hard goods, I did sell a bunch of horseshoes, and I packed this as full as possible with horseshoes. Yeah, you're never going to get to 70 pounds unless you're working with whatever. What's that metal? It's like super, super dense, and it's like you can hold a piece this big, and it feels crazy heavy. Maybe then. One heck of a thrifter. $2 super chat. Woo-hoo! Super chat, super chat, super chat, yow. Anyway, so you got regular priority, you got flat rate priority, and then you got cubic priority, which is volume based. Again, there's restrictions. It has to be, I think, within 20 pounds. It's just a specific size. So it's usually you want to use it for anything over a pound, but that's not bigger than, I guess, kind of a, I don't know, average size. Nothing huge. I'm trying to be as clear as possible, but I guess
You're not being very clear at all.
I'll show you something.
She's confusing you people. We've done this already. Let's just talk about bucks in a bag.
I understand. Anyway, basically this box right here is a little over 0.4 cubic, and 0.5 is the highest it goes. So just imagine anything like this size, smaller, that's over a pound is perfect for cubic. So what's the deal with the bag?
Well, what we wanted to talk about, since we've talked about pirate shipping, we've talked about cubic shipping 1,001 times. So that's what I was trying to say is we don't need to go over that 1,000.
But not everybody here has seen it every time.
No, but they can go back and watch another 10 other videos and watch it.
All right.
The specific thing that we were going to address today is box in a bag, because there seems to be confusion over box in a bag. On pirate ships specifically, when you are using cubic shipping, there is an option for you to choose a drop down. It automatically pops up when you're putting one of your items in there. It automatically pops up in the shape of a box, and it asks you to put your measurements in a box. If you're shipping something in a box, then that's what you're going to use. If you're shipping something in a bag, which is where you're going to save the most amount of money on pirate shipping, cubic shipping, you're going to hit that little drop down button, and you're going to choose where it shows like a bag. It's got the shape of a bag.
Yeah, they call it like soft pack, but you can also do box in a bag. But how do you enter in a bag?
So what you're going to do is it's simple. People seem that you're overcomplicating it. People get confused. They're overcomplicating it. You're going to enter in 2 measurements: your width by your length, or the length by the width. Doesn't really matter. Just the 2 measurements, both sides. That's it. Up to the fold. Don't include the fold. Up to where it would naturally fold. Okay. So that's it. Across and over. Doesn't matter what kind of bag you're using. You're going to enter it that way. And depending on the size of the bag and the measurement you're using, that's going to determine which tier cubic you're using. Doesn't matter what you put in this thing. You can put a bag in, you can put this in it and ship it. Your measurement is going to be the bag.
Yeah. The idea is that no matter what you put in it, if you're doing it by using a bag and you do those 2 measurements, the idea is that you plan to close it right at the fold, because this is a 12 by 15. So you are going to ship it sealed like this, not sealed like this, not sealed with the very top. You're going to be sealing it right at the crease, so it's 15 by 12. It's volume based, so you do 15 by 12. It does not matter how full the bag gets, what's in it. It can be an orange, it can be a pair of scissors, it can be, like I said in my post earlier, it can be a starfish, it can be a box. As long as you are folding it right at that fold, it can be anything.
The natural measurements of the envelope. What people seem to find confusing is that they're thinking bag in a box. Okay, so you're going to take something that is box shaped. You're going to put it in the bag. And then you're going to tape down all the sides so that now it looks like this, right? That's not bag in a box. That's just a box wrapped in a bag, okay? That's the difference. That's when you would have to put in all 3 dimensions, and you may as well ship it as a box, okay?
So I will show you. I have a pair of shoes. I have a pair of shoes that I'm shipping, and I'm doing it as a bag in a or a box in a bag. Now it looks like a box. You can see it. But I haven't done anything to the bag other than put the box inside and seal it. This is a box in a bag. You only have to put the 2 measurements in when you put the measurements in for box or for the bag. Now, if I did this one simple thing and I taped down these corners, and I taped everything down, now it becomes just a box. It's not a box in a bag anymore. And I have to measure it by the box, by the 3 sides of the box. It sounds confusing, but it really, all you have to know is that you can put anything in the bag as long as you are closing it at the flap and you are not taping it down around the item.
And then Dorothy asked a question. You can create your own size. Say you cut the bag's length, leaving a flap, then use that. Yes, exactly.
So for instance,
you can create your own bag using measurements that way.
I have this bag right here, and I actually cut off like 2 inches off of it. So now I made it so it's a new length, but I'm only going to measure up to this part right here. From here to here is going to be that length. And the idea is, as long as I can close it right at that spot where I cut it down, this is the bag. There's no like official bags. It's just whatever the size is before you put anything in it.
And there are different tiers. There's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4. I think it goes up to tier 5 cubic.
Yeah,
or
0.5.
You don't need to understand the math. You don't need to understand what the cubic percentage is or what the cubic area is. Yes, you're going to find that on Pirate Ship. You'll also find that on the US Postal Service website if you can find the information about cubic. You don't need to know it. I don't know it. Doesn't matter. You're just going to put your measurements in. They do that math for you. Isn't that special? Because I'm not a math person. I'm not going to figure out 0.275 cubic density is what that is based on the measurements. Listen, geometry was a very long time ago.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to figure that out.
Now, are people going to give you different information? Sure, because not everybody understands it. Not everybody at the post office understands it. There are people who work for the US Postal Service who actually think that flat rate means this has to be flat when you're using this padded flat rate mailer. That's crazy. Flat rate means it's a flat rate. It is a set rate no matter how much you put in it. So there literally are some post offices where you might run into somebody who works there
at the counter
who says, "Oh, this you can't send it like this. It's not flat." Hey guys, they don't always know everything because.
And when that happens, you either go to a different post office or you ask for the postmaster.
Yeah,
because it's not correct. I mean, you don't have to put up a fight. but just ask for someone else,
Yeah.
because they don't know what they're talking about 99% of the time. As a matter of fact, you can't get cubic priority at the counter, so they know nothing about it. You can't get commercial based pricing and commercial plus pricing at the counter. They know nothing about it. They know what they can do right there, and even then they don't always know that.
KAB Stock says that they literally just shipped out their first international order today after watching our video last night and setting up all the policies. That is super awesome. Where did your item get shipped to? We'd like to know. I think that's very exciting. But anyway, guys, just go to Pirate Ship, go to the website, and if you click on the side, it says rates. You click on that. You can enter in anything and just play around with it. Play around with sizes, play around with like bag versus box, all that stuff,
and see what,
and get an idea of what the prices are like and what it looks like. And I'm telling you, like, you don't have to know everything at first. Like I said, it prompts you. It'll tell you what the cheapest way to ship is, and over time you will pick it up and it'll start to make more sense to you.
Right, you're gonna know what you're gonna want to send cubic and what you're not. So Kara had a question. Scroll back up for a second.
Okay.
Right there. All right. She shipped 2 things today, personal, not eBay sales. They were more expensive, box in a bag, and priority flat rate mailer. That's generally going to happen. Priority, if you can fit it in this, 99% of the time, that's going to be the cheapest way to go. It's when it's bigger than this or it won't fit in this that you want to use cubic.
Anything that I ship, anything that I sell that's over a pound but will fit in one of these, I use these. This is my first one. It's very rare that it's going to be cheaper, and it's going to be like, it's going to be a matter of like 20 cents. Like if it's going the next state over, sometimes straight priority is going to be like a little bit cheaper, but not much. So it really just depends. But for the most part, I use this. If it's over a pound, it will fit in here. It's when it is bigger than this, but not like way bigger, like a more bulky jacket. I might be able to fit it in a 15 by 12 poly mailer, but I can't fit it quite into this. And then I know I can still ship it to New York for $8.
Or like a pair of shoes. For me, this is the jackets and shoes are perfect for this. I can fit a lot of shoes in here that I would never be able to fit in here.
Yeah.
And that, you know, and it's $8.62 or $8.92 or something like that.
Yeah.
I just shipped a pair of shoes that were 5 pounds to Kansas that if I paid priority pricing was $19 and change. And they fit in that cubic, and they shipped for $8.91.
Yeah. And maybe you could have fit them in a medium flat rate box, but that would have been 12 something.
Right.
So it's like you saved.
And I would have been pushing it to put them in that because they were ankle boots, but they were men's.
So I would have
had to bend and you know, they probably wouldn't have looked great. So
anyway, yeah, we're pretty excited, Susie. We hear that Susie Beach, who, by the way, guys, if you don't know, the legend of T-Money, the story behind the legend of T-Money, Susie Beach is actually the one who named T-Money T-Money. And I hear that Susie
they met at the eBay upfront in LA. Last week.
And Susie decided to go ahead and go. Yeah, she's on the wait list. There is a wait list. I don't know if they're still taking names from the wait list. I don't know if there's still possibilities to get to be able to actually get a ticket. I believe
they were sold out, and then they were pulling people from wait list. If you had registered for wait list tickets right around the time that they sold out, I do believe they have been fulfilling those wait list tickets. I don't know how many, and I don't know if there are any left, but I do know people that have gotten called from that wait list if they were registered on that wait list like right away.
Yeah. Swift Seller, I just believe it has something to do with there are limits to how long the bag can be for doing the cubic priority.
Yeah, for it to fit.
I think it's 17 as far as I know. I can't even do 17.5.
Yeah, I think it's 17
is the limit.
And then dumb question, Kathleen asked, would you ship something that could possibly break in an envelope? It's not a dumb question, but the answer would be no. If it could break, I would not put it in an envelope. If it's something that you're thinking of doing cubic shipping on, I would do a box in an envelope. I would, package something very well so it didn't break if it's on a small scale. And then if you're going to save money trying to put it in an envelope, like box in a bag thing, I would do that. But I would absolutely put it in something more solid than an envelope if it's breakable.
Yeah, for sure. KAB or Cab Stock, it's sold to Norway. Very excited. I've sold to Norway before.
I've been selling to Norway quite a bit lately. I don't know what's up with Norway, but it was never a big prominent country I ship to, and lately I've been shipping there a few times a month, so that's weird.
Create and adorn. When you get set up your free pirate ship account, you can actually link your eBay account to it. You have to. There's a process where you go through and you give it permission.
Yeah, you can link eBay and Etsy to that, and it'll automatically upload your tracking, and it also automatically import your information.
Yeah, I mean, you always want to check. Like I always go once I'm done with everything. Because I do all of my Etsy stuff through Pirate Ship. So I'll go through, and after I do all my shipping, I'll go through and reload the orders page, and you'll know it worked because everything it's all ordered now, or it's all shipped, because it automatically it does it almost immediately. And then you'll see all of your tracking numbers and stuff like that. But I always check just to make sure there aren't any errors. But it'll no longer show up in your orders that need to be shipped on eBay because it will have shipped them.
Gretchen says she's been throwing down a couple of challenges between us and Rally Roots. You know what? I don't know that they're coming to eBay Open. I haven't talked to them in a few weeks. Last time we spoke, they were still on the fence whether they were coming. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they got in or not. DJ says, where I get confused, can you make or fold a poly mailer smaller length than the actual size? You put the new size down, allowing room for the flap. You would put the new size down. Yes, you can make it smaller for sure.
Yes, you can make it smaller. You just need to put the measurements for the actual size of the bag that you use. Now, technically, I know that people have talked to people at Pirate Ship before, and they're like, "Oh, you can't do that." It's like that's what I'm like. Okay, so then cut the bag. I mean, it's just a bag. If you cut the bag down to whatever size it is it's going to be, there's no official bag that must be used. It's just whatever size bag you have, you put the measurements in. So
see, they're going to a wedding. Other people that I have not watched their show in probably at least a month or two. So sorry, Ryan and Allie, I just haven't had time. Plus we've been away. So yeah, they're going to a wedding and Ryan is a bachelor party, so they're not coming.
Well, it looks like they won't go unless they're asked to speak. So
I don't know if that's true. That's just
I don't know.
Somebody just said that.
Well, I don't know. They said it like they know what they're talking about.
They're going to a wedding, and Ryan has a bachelor party for a very good friend. That's what they said. So they're not.
Well,
coming.
I think they need to ship out. They needed to ship out Callie because I think she should come and represent. Don't you think? I think that would be appropriate.
All right, hey Frenchie, I'll hold your shoes, girl.
Yeah, there you go.
It's all right.
Naughty. Southern Blue Skies. I recently shipped an item to Russia and just received positive feedback from the buyer. Before listening to us, they had Russia excluded, and now they'll ship anywhere. Yeah, Russia's one of my biggest.
Russia's a good country to ship to.
Yeah.
And they have delivery confirmation. So
sometimes
it depends. It depends on where it is. But I mean, I have not
never had a problem.
I've never had a problem shipping to Russia.
Yeah,
I've never had a lost package. I've never had a claim. I've never had a damaged package.
Now I know, like eBay, if you sell something to Russia and you try to print your labels through eBay, they tell you have to go to like the counter, and it's like, really, come on. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but it doesn't matter because anything I send to Russia, I'm shipping through Pirate Ship anyway.
Connecticut Girl asked, when running a sale, do you run 2 sales since you can only bulk 500 at a time? Actually, no, that's not true. If you run as a sale plus markdown, you can do your whole store, or you can do it by categories within your store. Yep. And that's how I do. I personally just do my whole store, and I use a flat amount when I put my store on sale. I know Katie chooses sometimes different categories. I tend to do my whole store just because there's so many items. I know I could do by category. I used to do my whole store when I was only clothing.
Now I mean, it's only 2 categories. It's clothing. It's like the main categories. It's clothing, and it's my vinyl stuff, my records.
Allison, you and Sarah Palin.
Yeah. They can see Russia from her house. It's pretty awesome.
Sweet Pea says, I'm going to Open my first time. Totally excited. You're going to have so much fun.
Seriously,
we'll be talking so much more about Open as we get closer. I know we're definitely going to do a little video showing people what to expect, you know, as far as an on location, where you can expect where you're going to walk in, where you go for registration, as much as we're able to show you prior to you getting there. And hopefully that will help those of you that deal with anxiety issues or fear of traveling alone and the fear of the unknown, because I know that I'm uncomfortable going certain places where I don't know exactly what's going to happen or where I'm going to go and what things look like, especially if you're traveling alone. I can see how that would be very concerning for a lot of people. So we had talked about doing it last year and we didn't get around to it because they had been moving some stuff at the last minute. But this year we're definitely going to do that. It may be a couple of weeks before Open that we're going to do it because we will be gone the week before Open.
Yeah.
So
Swift Seller, it really depends. I don't know what size bags you were using because yes, the dimensions definitely change the cost if you're doing cubic shipping, depending on what size. If I do a poly bag, that's 11 by 10 as opposed to 15 by 2. That's a 0.1 tier versus a 0.2 tier. Those are two totally different prices. So, but I don't know which ones you were playing around with, so I can't really answer your question. But it definitely does impact the price.
Ruby Sun says she's getting in through the wait list. So she got in, she's coming to open. She got in through the wait list. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't think that they're doing less tickets this year. But I do think that here's the thing: there's the regular people who want to go to open. That have always just gone to open or whatever. But the thing that's happened over the last, I'd say 2 to 3 years, you know, year before last, the number of like social media leaders or social media personalities that came, let's say in 2017, was very minimal. Last year,
I don't think there were any. There were maybe a couple.
There were a couple. In 2017, there were just a few. In 2018, that jumped up quite a bit, and then this year it's exploding. I mean, Rally Roots may not be there, but there's all these other people that are going to be there that have 100,000 people following them, 75,000 people following them, 50,000 people following them. I think, I mean, this is just my theory. I think that's having a large impact. We're pretty small potatoes, but I think that's having a large impact on who is deciding to come to this. It's not necessarily because they're coming for open itself. They're coming for the people. That's my thought.
Which is the best part of open, honestly, is meeting everybody, bar none. Don't get me wrong. eBay puts on a great party. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of things to be learned, a lot of great classes and things like that. But the absolute best part about eBay Open is the social interaction and the networking with eBay executives and with other sellers. That's the best part, without fail. Karen Ray's, what is AZ? AZ stands for Amazon.
Sweet Pea 530. You just signed up for Pirate Ship. When you are on the screen for Pirate Ship and you are logged in the lower right-hand corner, it says chat. Click on that and just say, please add me to the simple export rate program. That's the only thing you need to ask to be added to, and that will significantly drop your first class, just your first class international packages, the cost of those labels. So anything 4 pounds and under falls into that, and it'll give you some.
And everything else is automatic.
Everything else is automatic.
Yeah, as far as the savings. Noelle, we can't wait to see you too. I'm very excited for open. You know, now that our trip back east is done, it's time to buckle down and get ourselves ready for camp and open. We've got 2 months, less than 2 months before camp, and that's it. And we have nothing. We can't do anything once we go to camp. So it's camp, then we come home and we have open, and people start getting here from Alaska and places like that. Yeah, to come and stay with us.
So somebody had a question. Oh, Gretchen wanted to know, do other countries have certain things they usually shop the U.S. for, like band tees or vintage? I would, from my own experience, vintage is definitely one that's true, because you got to understand, imagine if you live here in the U.S. and you have access, here in Vegas alone, we have 6 different Sabre stores, we have multiple Goodwills, we have Salvation Army, you can go to the bins. You can go anywhere, and if you're a young person who's like really into want to be hip and cool, and you want to wear the vintage t-shirts, you can just go out and shop, and every once in a while you're going to find something good that you're going to be excited about. I'm in a couple of Facebook groups that are just guys that just do that every day. But if you live in another country, depending on where you're at, I mean, it's like, are they going to have as much stuff that's being donated? Particularly anything that has to do with like American sports, stuff like that. So definitely vintage. I think Australia is huge for me. I send a lot of vintage streetwear to Australia. So
Noelle, we probably won't. We won't see you when we go to camp. We're not going to be in Seattle. We're going to be in North Bend, Washington, and we are literally flying into camp the day before and flying home from camp the night of. There is no social aspect of that vacation. Yeah. We are not going to have time.
But if you're going to be at open, I mean, that's like the week later.
We'll see you the week right after. But yeah, we are literally, we don't have the time. We're flying into camp the night before. We have to drive up there, and we're flying up and staying with my friend's parents. We all go to camp together, and then we leave the campgrounds at 1 p.m. on Saturday, and we'll be flying home Saturday afternoon.
Okay,
so
let's talk about the urban legend that is calling up eBay and saying, hey, my sales are really slow. Nobody's looking at my stuff. Nobody's buying my stuff. Can you go ahead and do a store reset for me? And then they do like a store reset, and all of a sudden you're like making sales left and right. What's that all about?
So here's the thing. It doesn't really exist. There is no button where they go in and hit a store refresh or a store reset or anything like that. What they're doing is something that you can do yourself. What they're doing is they're doing something that re-indexes your store. Part of doing that is the stuff that you're doing when you're refreshing your store, as far as ending old listings and making sure they're not super stale, more than 90 or 120 days old. Reworking listings every day. That's part of it. That's part of making things in your store and creating activity in your store. But what they're actually doing is something that you can do yourself. You can go in and go in order to refresh your stores. Basically, you go into bulk edit, hit edit, select all, and then save it. And you don't change anything.
Yeah. So my question is though, and Teresa, maybe you can do some digging, talk to some of your peeps at eBay. My question is, does even that actually do anything? To go in and you do bulk edit, you can bulk edit like 500 at a time. You get to that screen where it's all listed. You, like she said, you hit the check mark, you just save it, and you haven't actually changed a single thing. Does that actually have any impact on the search, what people can see? I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of, like, people have all these kind of crazy conspiracy theories. My favorite one is probably,
does that work? I think in some ways, I think because if you are touching a listing or doing something within a listing and re-indexing your store in some way,
right? But they say you have to like change the title, you got to change the price.
Who the hell knows?
Right.
That is what they're doing when they're telling you they're refreshing the store. They're blowing smoke up your ass to get you off the phone.
But yeah, see, it makes people feel better, so there's no harm. So my understanding is that you have to actually make somewhat of a significant change, whether it's the price or change your title. And then when you save it, that does give it some sort of a boost. I don't really know. I don't know how much of it is actually going to give you a boost. I say, how about you focus a little more on listing every day, ending old listings, doing so similar to refresh all those listings and quit worrying about that. But what I was just going to say is that my favorite conspiracy theory is this idea that eBay sits there and goes, all right, so these people have been selling a lot. These stores have been selling a lot. We're going to go ahead and we're going to turn off their stores.
We're going to slow that down.
We're going to turn off their stores because these people over here, they need their fair share of like making some sales. Okay, guys, so we're going to turn these guys off because we want to spread the love around. Because you know what? eBay, they don't want everybody getting good sales all the time. You know, they can only let people do it a little bit at a time. Now, that is absolutely ridiculous. Now, when you have
the rolling blackout theory is another one.
Yeah.
You know, there may or may not be some validity to that based on how the servers, you know, how much they can all handle depending on everywhere in the country and whatever. Who the hell knows? Nobody knows how that works.
I do think that when you have a platform where you have millions of sellers and millions of listings, and you know, there's going to be algorithms, there's going to be things happening that whatever, but there is nobody sitting in a chair somewhere deciding this group of sellers, they get to have good sales. This group, we're not going to let them have good sales. Ideally, eBay wants everyone to have good sales because guess what? Like, I don't even get it because the same people are complaining about how they're gouging us for fees. It's like, do they want our fees or don't they? As far as I'm concerned, they want us to sell as much as possible so they can steal all of our money through fees, right? I mean, it's like, it's just, I don't know, it drives me crazy. Drives me insane. So yeah, they're just looking, Teresa, they're just looking here to look pretty and give sellers a reason for conspiracy theories. Listen, it's not a perfect platform. It has issues. It has glitches. It has stuff where I'm sure sometimes your items get suppressed in a search, and it's not anything that you're necessarily doing wrong. But overall, if you do the work, if you do everything that we've talked about and you keep your store active and you do everything you possible and you are regularly making changes to your store, adding to your store, building up your inventory, sourcing better items, you can go away for vacation for 6 days, not do jack crap for 6 days and come home and ship out 50 items. Like you are proof of what happens when you just work the platform the way you're supposed to. Says
when you just shut up and list. Because you know, honestly, I've worked my ass off the past several years, specifically the last year on the platform. And that's it. I've got, you know, I went on vacation 6 days. I didn't touch a single thing in my store, put my handling time out, you know, 7 days, then changed it to 5 days, 4 days, 3 days, whatever. And I had $2,500 in sales in 6 days.
Yeah.
50 items.
Yeah. Now she wouldn't want to go much longer than that without listing. But you know what? It's because of the work she's put into it. When you know, we show our numbers every week, but if you step back and you could see what her numbers this year look like compared to last year's, and I know mine are up too, but hers are even more up. It's like, it's just proof positive that, you know, overall, if you work the platform the way you're supposed to and the way the best practices helped you to do it, you are going to see results. And, you know, unfortunately, no, eBay's not a passive platform where you can just hang out. And Teresa's proof of that too. She's got 4,000 listings on her in her store. And last year, the year before, she went months without adding any listings because she was focused on doing Amazon, some other stuff. She went months, and it absolutely impacted her sales in a very negative way. And so you have to work it. But in my opinion, that's a plus, because you don't want people to just come and dump a bunch of crap on eBay and walk away from it and make tons of money. You want to be able, you want there to be something in your control to make you a better seller, to where you can bring in more money because you are doing it the right way.
Yeah, Sweet Pea says she's doing it right. I'm gonna have enough drafts so listings go up every day when I go to Vegas. Good, that's the way to do it. Keep doing everything. Can you list on Etsy from your phone like eBay and do a complete listing start to finish, pictures and all? I don't believe Etsy has a listing app yet.
But I mean, I do stuff on the Etsy. I do stuff on the Etsy website.
I do stuff on the Etsy.
I do stuff on Etsy in my browser on my phone, because the app doesn't always let me do everything. So technically, yeah, I could do anything I want on Etsy with my phone, but I don't do anything on my phone when it comes to listing.
Karen Hill, will Pirate Ship let you ship your personal stuff through their site? Yeah, I do it all the time. We ship, that's the site that we use to ship any of our prizes out to any of our watchers that win anything. I use Pirate Ship to ship to my family when I ship things to my daughter, all that stuff. Lisa says she lists on the Etsy app and it works. I've never tried. So
I mean, I've edited stuff on the app. So Waste Not Whatnot Mo says it's simple. List at least do 2 or 2, like what we do in the Boss Facebook group. She says her sales are through the roof since she committed to this concept. I know she said that she's been really religious about making sure she does that, and she's seen a huge difference in her sales. And even though she's only available to work part-time. And
I did see Christine pop in there and say hello from New York, where it's finally sunny. Of course it is. We just left the East Coast. Of course it's not raining now. It rained the entire 6 days we were there, 40 to 45 degrees, torrential downpours, with the exception of one day. We had a 70-degree day on Saturday. It was gorgeous. Every other day was crap.
Yeah.
Thank God I love my people in New England, because I would never go back and visit if I didn't.
Yep. Yeah. Teresa says she's using data mine. She has it set up so to where it auto ends and sells similar 10 listings every day. So it's always active. So, yep. But yeah, that's bottom line. I mean, there's a reason, people can bitch and complain about how eBay's dying. Nobody can make it on eBay these days, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, but then how do you explain all the people who just started this last year and are killing it? And there's a lot of them out there. There's people who, the reason why the people who come in doing it new are killing it is because they don't have these
negative mindsets,
antiquated expectations of the way they think eBay should work. That's
how it worked in 2000.
Yeah, they're coming in as it is now, and they're doing what it takes to be good at it. But the reality is, I've said this a million times, but the reality is, no matter what the industry, no matter what it is, somebody made the first car, somebody made the first airplane, somebody made the first, I don't know, smartphone. Well, Apple did the first smartphone. It's like, did Apple make the first smartphone and they were just it, and that's all that ever happened after that? No, any industry, if there's a way to make money, you are going to have people come in. You're going to have other businesses come in. You're going to have competition. It's going to start out, it's going to be awesome because for whatever reason you figured it out first, and you're selling all the Whozits and Whatsits and widgets, and you're going to be doing awesome until that somebody else goes like, hey, they're making money doing that, I'm going to do it too. And then they're going to jump in, and guess what? Just because it was great at the beginning and you were selling everything doesn't mean it's going to keep going, because now you have to compete against that new business, that new person coming in. And that's the whole concept of eBay.
Why don't you ask all the people that used to sell depression glass 20 years ago on eBay how their sales are doing today?
But that doesn't mean that eBay's broken. That doesn't mean that eBay doesn't work. It means that it takes more skill. It takes more dedication. It takes more work. And it means you have to be better at it. You can't just come in and be like, man, I'm the only guy selling tacos in this town. And, it's like, whatever. It's like, it drives me crazy. I'm just going to go on a rant here. What do you think?
Gonna go on a rant? What the hell have you been doing for the past 10 minutes?
I'm just saying it's reality, and it's like to sit there and get upset about it. In the vintage streetwear community, there's a lot. It's the same stuff. People complaining, saying
not,
like, "Oh, I hate it that people are coming in, they're selling this stuff, or so they're making it so expensive, and blah blah." Or I can't stand Slobby's World because they're telling everybody about this and blah blah blah. And it's like, guys, you need it's a symbiotic relationship, because yes, that show is showing everybody like, look at all these vintage items that are worth money. But you know what it's also doing? It's adding to the hype. It's adding to the hype and making people who watch the show go, I want that stuff too, but I don't have it in me to go out and shop thrift stores. I don't have it in me to do that. So now I'm going to go on eBay and see if I can find it from somebody. No, I'm not done. I got more to do.
I'll come back in an hour. Jeez, good Lord. Who peed in your Cheerios this morning?
Same with doing YouTube, so Seller says.
It's true. I mean, we started YouTube, you know, Katie started a little over a year ago, and then I jumped on with her a few months into doing this. And
what, Etsy?
YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. Sorry.
Same with YouTube.
Yes. Continue.
There are a bazillion YouTubers, and there are hundreds and hundreds of people that have YouTube shows about selling online, about reselling in general. Some of them are excellent. Some of them are horrible. You just got to find people that speak to you and speak your language, that you understand, and that
but they're giving away all our secrets, and now all these other people are watching. Like, look at this. We've got Capstock, who's just like strolling on in, going like, oh, well, I'm going to join the game and I'm going to sell things internationally. Now I got competition. I just ruined it for everybody.
Yeah, you know what? I said this in the Facebook group the other day. You know, long before Facebook and smartphones and YouTube, when people like Teresa and I started selling on eBay, there were the message boards, and that's all there was the message boards. And the people on the message boards were full of everyone and their grandmother bitching and complaining that everyone selling on eBay, even though they were eBay sellers themselves, everyone on eBay has ruined it for everyone else. And now they've driven down the prices and all the secrets are out, and they'll never make money ever again.
Never.
And those people,
it's horrible.
And those people, some of them are still selling on eBay, and some of those same people are still bitching and complaining about how everyone has ruined it for everyone else 20 years later. You know, that's evolution. That's life. That's, you know, is the little old man that has the antique store down the street getting the same prices for his items that he used to get 20 years ago? Probably not. Has eBay made it easier for people to get what they need instead of having to walk into an antique store that specializes in things? That was what eBay did. It brought antiques to you, and you didn't have to go to New England to go antiquing for a week to find the things that you needed. You were able to find them in the Midwest from the comfort of your living room. That's what eBay brought to you. That's how it started.
Alexis, this is the Whozits and What's It show, okay? Well, and the newest thing that people are bitching and complaining about is like this horrible Goodwill. Now that Goodwill is doing research, they're doing market research. They're going online, they're following people on Instagram, they're figuring out what this stuff's really worth. And now they're trying to get real money for it. They're putting it on their website, trying to sell it for what it's worth. It's outrageous. Are you mad about it? I'm mad about it. I know I'm mad about it. Because how dare they
have
sell anything for more than $1, okay? Because you know what? That stuff's giving them to them for free. And they're selling it for more than 50 cents. That's malarkey. That's baloney, if you ask me.
So you get all these people that are sorting at Goodwill that are being paid minimum wage. Do you think they're all watching the YouTube videos and they all know exactly what they're looking at, so nothing's going to slip through? I get that they're probably not going to let the Gucci and the Burberry slip through as easily as, and it's probably going to go to the online centers. But for the most part, there is not, unless they're doing this themselves. And if they were, they wouldn't be working at Goodwill. They'd be making more money working for themselves.
Alexis is outraged.
If they were this knowledgeable about brands, about clothing, about what should be selling online, then they wouldn't be working at Goodwill. Yeah. So yes, they can teach and train and give them some keywords. And yeah, some of the stuff is going to get pulled out and priced higher. But is all of it going to get pulled out and noticed right away? Absolutely not. They can't possibly have all that knowledge.
But I guarantee you, we have Goodwills here in Vegas, and they suck for me. And I do think it's because they pull stuff to go sell on their website. But I can't be mad about it. Like, it's their stuff. They get to sell it for whatever they want to sell it for. And if they become more educated and they know what stuff is worth, then they're going to do that. And you know what I do? I have to adjust. I have to adapt. I have to look for other ways to source. And I have to do it differently. big whoop, guys.
Mm-hmm.
They don't owe it to us to do it any particular
Christy
way.
Says, they price things super high at our Goodwill. It doesn't sell, and then she gets it at the bins for $1.29 a pound. Good works for me.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. But they're resellers too, and they have every right to do it that way. Savers, as far as I know, they don't do anything online. I don't know that they would, because I mean, they kind of have it figured out where they churn through so much stuff so quickly. I think
they're not too bad. They're not too bad.
It works for them, and they probably make way more money than Goodwill does. Now, does Goodwill do it the right way as far as like, are they selling the stuff? I mean, if they're pricing stuff too high and it ends up going to the Goodwill outlets, they probably could have made more money if they priced it lower. But you know what? It all works out in the end. It's like, whatever. So
they do have Goodwill bins in Vegas. There are 2, but they're not very good. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to spend all day to get 5 good items. Maybe it's not worth my time.
They just don't do the volume.
Yeah, Ruby, that's what I was talking about. Is the old eBay community boards. Yeah, the new eBay community boards are no better. They're so antiquated. It's just as bad as they were then. Nobody goes on them. It's not, nobody goes on them. But the old eBay community boards were a thing because that's all there was, and that's where we used to go and do research. And there were boards that were specified for different items and different things and different interests. It was great, but that was before there were any other options.
My favorite thing about people being upset about like all the secrets getting out, Goodwill's doing market research, blah, blah, blah. Does nobody realize that all of this information is available to all of us, and at any time we can go and we can look at solds on eBay, we can buy category, we can look at people's Instagram accounts, like all that information's out there, and yet somehow the majority of resellers don't seem to really know what their stuff's worth anyways. I mean, it's like the information's already there. It's out there.
Yeah, One Witch Lady on the old boards. I spent so much time on there, but that was, again, this was before social media. That was our social media. I was just gonna say it was before social media. That was our social media. I made some amazing friends that I'm still friends with, actually, that I met almost 20 years ago selling on eBay and talking on those boards. So,
so the show I mentioned, I mentioned Slobby's World. I've actually never watched that show. It's on Netflix. I just don't have, I can't watch that kind of stuff while I'm working. And when I'm not working, I'm not watching that kind of stuff. Oops, sorry. I'm being like you now.
How dare you?
Anyway, the shows I do watch, when I do have time to watch them, there is Round 2, the show, which is on YouTube, and I've been watching that show since 2016. It's been on probably 2016, 2015, I think maybe was when it first started. I know Rally Roots, they actually went to one of the Round 2 stores and they were on the show. But that is an excellent show to watch if you want to start to learn streetwear. The other one I watch is Paul Cantu's YouTube channel, which he's just silly. But if you're watching the stuff that he buys and he shows, that is the kind of stuff that's popular in the streetwear community. So
listen, dinosaurs complained about thrift store prices. Look what happened to them.
I know, right? But
we're at an hour.
Okay, so real quick, speaking of finding different ways to source, I actually went ahead and I ordered a bulk box from, there's this guy that's on Instagram. I think Allison follows him. A few other people follow him. Barry was actually the one that said, hey, you should try buying like some bulk stuff from this guy. His name is The Thrift Lord. And I know I've seen Allison like stuff that he's posted. And so he does bulk stuff. So I went ahead and I ordered a box from him. It was like a large flat rate box. I paid $100. It's coming today. I have no idea what is going to be in it. I think it's just going to be like vintage t-shirts. But I'll probably do a live unboxing tonight on just on Instagram. So you should make sure you're following me on Instagram if you want to see what I get. Because if it's good, if I think I can make money off of it, I'm going to get more stuff from him and I can actually get bigger. He's looking for people who are looking to do larger bulk buys. But I'm starting out with just the $100 box and I'm going to see how it goes. So if you guys want to check that out, it should be cool.
Vasquez Vintage says hello from Seattle.
Hello. So last question, Susie Beach wants to know, if you had to be a canned vegetable, which one would you be?
Corn. It's the only canned vegetable I'll eat.
No. Canned vegetable, I'm gonna go artichoke hearts. Does that count? Ugh. How dare you? You're so rude. Anyway, guys, I'll do that on Instagram tonight. And when you do live videos, they end up in your story. and then they stay up for 24 hours. So if you don't get a chance to see it tonight, just look at my stories tomorrow, and it should still be up there at least until towards tomorrow evening. But yeah, because I'm just really looking for ways. Like, I like sourcing around here, but I'm looking for some reliable, regular sourcing I can do from a couple of different people. And so I'm just going to build on that. Anyway, anything else from you? Are you over here commenting on the old Facebook?
I am.
So rude. We're in the middle of a show right here, guys. And she's over on Facebook, like, gotta get my comment in. In fact, the last thing I saw, she wrote LOL. So you
no, that was IDK.
Oh, sorry. LOL.
I already told her I was going to be grumpy today. 5 hours of sleep. Up at 3 a.m.
Doesn't change anything for me. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. You hanging out here. I got to go print my labels off, and then I got some listing to do. I'm sure I got to help her.
Yeah, if you guys are on your computers, tune into the eBay for Business live broadcast
at 12:30.
At 12:30. I don't know what their topic is today. I didn't get a chance to figure out what their topic is today, but
yeah, Teresa, exactly. Wah, I got 50 sales. I sold so much stuff. It's so hard to package it up and ship it.
I'm not whining. I am not complaining. That's not true. I am whining, but I'm not complaining. I'm quite happy with my sales. That does not mean that I can't bitch about having to package 50 packages.
Yeah, it does.
No.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
I can bitch about anything I want to bitch about.
Fine. People are just going to be like, what's up with that asshole?
Whatever. And yes, I'm crabby. I'm super tired. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, like I said, we never really got a job. We got up at 6 a.m. here, which is 3 a.m. Rhode Island time. We never really got adjusted.
I don't think you know how it works. It's 9 a.m. Rhode Island time. 9
a.m. Rhode Island time. But we went to bed at 2. I don't know. I can't tell what the hell time it is anymore.
Anyway, guys, we'll see you later. Thanks for hanging out with us. Bye.
Bye.